Hi guys, welcome to our channel Home Now. I'm architect Pooja Kothari and here's your ultimate guide to kitchen materials in India for 2026. So you're planning your dream kitchen and you walk into a showroom. The salesperson shows you two identical looking countertops. One costs 150 SFT and the other costs 450. Same with cabinets, MDF, plywood and particle board. What do these terms even mean? And why do you care? Here's the thing. Your kitchen is probably the most used space in your home and you'll spend the next 20 years cooking, cleaning and living in this space. Choose the wrong material and you're dealing with stains that won't come off. Cabinets that sag after 2 years and appliances that break down just when you need them the most. So in this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about kitchen materials in India. We'll cover countertops, cabinets, appliances, and even the small hardwares that make a big difference. By the end, you'll know exactly what to buy, what to avoid, and how much to budget for each of the components. Let's start with what you see first, which is the countertops. Countertops is the foundation of your kitchen. Your countertop is basically the work surface where all the action happens. You'll be chopping vegetables, rolling your dough, placing hot pans, dealing with water spills daily. So this needs to be tough, hygienic and easy to maintain. In countertops, we have the first material, which is granite. Granite is a natural stone that has been formed over millions of years. It's extremely hard, which means it can handle your daily kitchen abuse without showing any wear. Now I'm going to tell you the difference between Indian and imported granite. Indian granite starts with around 150 per SFT, while your imported varieties are around 700 per SFT. Now here's what this means to you. Indian granite is perfectly fine for most homes. The imported ones mainly offer different patterns and colors, not necessarily better performance. When we talk about the thicknesses, you'll typically see 18 mm, 20 mm, 25 mm thickness. Thicker ones means more durability and better heat resistance, but also higher cost. For most kitchens, 20 mm is the sweet spot. Granite is excellent heat resistance. You can place hot pans directly. They are stain resistant if properly sealed. Each slab is unique in pattern. They last for about 15-20 years with proper care. What you should really watch out for, granite is porous, meaning it can absorb a lot of liquids if not sealed properly. You'll need to reseal it every 2-3 years. Also, it can chip if you drop something heavy on it. The next one that we have is quartz countertop. This is an engineered option. So your quartz countertops are not natural stone. They are engineered surfaces made by mixing crushed quartz with resins and polymers. Think of it like making concrete. You're mixing different materials to create something stronger. Why would you choose quartz? Because it is non-porous, it will not have any stain absorption, and it is more consistent in terms of its patterns and colors. It's extremely durable, harder than granite, and no sealing is required for it. What are the drawbacks of using quartz? It is not as heat resistant as granite. A hot pot placed directly can damage the surface, and also if it chips, repair is difficult and expensive. In quartz, we have a lot of brands nowadays. If you want something premium, then you can look for Caesar stones, and if you want something very budget, then you can look for brands like AGL, etc. The next countertop we have is the marble countertops. This is the luxury option. Marble is a limestone that has been transformed by heat and pressure. It's been used in palaces and temples for centuries, so we know it's durable. Now about its cost, premium imported marble can cost around 3,300 to 5,600 per SFT. Even Indian varieties start at around 150 per square feet, but by the time you add processing and installation, you're looking at around 2,000 rupees per square feet. Now, why are you going to use a marble in kitchen? Because it's beautiful, the veining patterns are natural and unique, and it's also naturally cool, which is great for rolling dough and pastry work. Now, let's come to the reality. Is marble okay for a Indian kitchen? Marble is a limestone, which means it reacts with acids, lemon juice, vinegar, tomatoes. They'll etch the surface permanently. In an Indian kitchen where we use a lot of tamarind, lime and acidic ingredients, marble requires constant care and maintenance. The next we have is solid surfaces, or commonly known as Corian. These are acrylic based surfaces that are molded and shaped. Corian is the most famous brand, but there are many other local alternatives. Now, how does it work? The surface is non-porous and can be shaped into any form. Scratches can be sanded out and joints are invisible. What about its cost? It costs around 400 to 800 per SFT depending on the brand and design. When does it work best? If you want a curved edge, if you want integrated sinks or complex shapes, then it is best. It's also good for people who are worried about bacteria because this surface is non-porous. There's no bacterial formation on this material. The next countertop that we have is stainless steel countertop. This is a professional choice. This is what you see in restaurant kitchens. It's exactly what it sounds like. Steel that does not stain easily. You must be wondering why restaurants use it, because it is 100% hygienic, it is heat resistant, and it's easy to clean. It does not harbor any bacteria. For home use, it costs around 300 to 500 per SFT. It's practical but can look very industrial. Also, it shows water spots and scratches easily. The next option that we have is tile countertops. You may have commonly heard of full body tiles these days. Individual tiles are laid on the base with grout lines in between. It is a very budget option because it costs around 100 to 300 per square feet depending on the quality. But the problem is the grout lines collect a lot of dirt, stains and bacteria. Cleaning becomes a nightmare in these countertops. Only consider if your budget is extremely tight. Now we are done with the countertops. I'm going to tell you about the kitchen cabinets where everything lives. Your cabinets will store everything from heavy pressure cookers to delicate glassware. The material that you choose determines how long they last and how much weight they can handle. Talking about the cabinet carcass material, the carcass is basically the structure of the cabinet. You can do it with MDF, which is medium density fiberboard. This is a wood fiber mixed with adhesive and pressed into boards. Think of it like making paper but with wood particles instead. The cost is around 800 to 1800 per square foot. If you want painted finishes, then it is a good choice, but it swells up when it gets wet. You can use it for upper cabinets, but it's risky for the sink based cabinets. The next one that we have is plywood. Multiple wood veneer layers are glued together with alternating grain directions. This cross grain construction makes it stronger than solid wood in many ways. In plywood, we have different types like your BWR and BWP, which is boiling water resistant and boiling waterproof. These cost around 1200 to 2800 per SFT. Now, why should you use a plywood? Because it can handle moisture better. It is crucial for Indian kitchens with high humidity and high water usage. The next one that we have is particle board. Particle board is basically wood chips and shavings bonded with adhesive. It's basically sawdust pressed into boards. Now, the cost, it's a very cheap option ranging around 600 to 1200 per SFT, but it will sag under weight and it disintegrates if water gets into it. Only use it if budget is extremely tight and you're planning to upgrade really soon. The next material that we have is similar to your MDF but a superior version, which is called HD HMR boards, humidity and moisture resistant. These are denser than MDF and specially treated for moisture resistance. These cost around 1000 to 2500 per SFT. The advantages is you have better screw holding capacity, 10 times more than plywood according to manufacturers. Now you have these materials available in a lot of brands like Century, Merino, etc. My preference is birch ply. Birch ply is basically an imported ply. It is best for kitchen because it does not absorb water and it does not lead to any sagging or spoil. The next thing that we have is cabinet door finishes. Now after making the carcass, you would want to finish the cabinets. So you can use a laminate. Laminate is basically a decorative layer bonded with base material. Think of it like a sticker but much more durable. From basic laminates that peel after few years to premium ones that last decades, you have different varieties available. One practical tip would be look for laminates with rounded edges. They are less likely to peel. Coming to the next finish, which is veneer. Veneers are thin slices of real wood glued onto the base material. You can use it to get look of solid wood at a fraction of cost. It does need maintenance in terms of it needs polishing after every few years and can get damaged by water. The next finish that we have is PU paint, which is polyurethane. It is a liquid coating that hardens to form a protective layer onto any base. You can have PU coating in glossy, matte, textured finishes and it can be repaired if damaged. It is available in various colors. The downside is that it shows fingerprints and requires regular cleaning. The next material that we have is acrylic. Acrylic is a plastic-like coating that gives a high gloss finish. The look is very modern, almost glass-like finish. It is scratch resistant, but it is very expensive to repair if damaged. It is a premium option. It almost costs 30 to 50% higher than the other materials. Now, the next thing that we will talk about is the modular versus carpentry made kitchens. Modular kitchens are basically pre-manufactured components that are assembled on site, like buying furniture from IKEA. What are the advantages of such system? Basically, you have good quality control in factory conditions. You have standardized fittings and hardwares. You have faster installation and better warranties. months. The total cost of something like this would be between 1.5 to 5.5 lakhs depending on the material and size of the kitchen. Now, when we talk about carpenter-made kitchens, everything is built from scratch on site. Now, when does this make sense? If you have unusual spaces, if you have very tight budgets, or if you want complete customization, then is when a carpentry-made kitchen would make sense. Quality depends entirely on the carpenter's skill, and there is no standardization for such kitchens. Talking about the cabinet hardware, the small things that matter the most. So you have soft close hinges where doors close gently and automatically. They prevent slamming and increase cabinet life. You can consider brands like Hettich, Blum or Epco. For your drawer slides, it is the mechanism that allows drawers to slide in and out. In this also you have soft close option where the drawer closes gently on its own, and the weight capacity is about 35 to 50 kgs generally, and premium ones are up to 70 kgs. Here you can go for brands like Hettich and Blum, although the cost is more, but they last for about 15-20 years more than other brands. The cheaper alternatives might need replacement in about 3 to 5 years itself. So you have the pull-out baskets. These baskets can slide out for easy access for items that are stored deep inside your cabinet. Why they matter? In deep cabinets, you'll struggle to reach items at the back. Pulling out baskets will solve this problem. Coming to magic corners, you can use magic corners. You have special hardware that will bring corner items to the front when you open the door. The cost is about 8 to 15,000 per unit, but it makes every corner space highly usable. Coming to your kitchen appliances and built-ins. The built-in appliance market in India has grown to 13.3% and is expected to reach 6.52 billion by 2034. This growth is driven by urban lifestyles and demand for modular kitchens. Coming to built-in hobs and cooktops. Built-in hobs are gas burners that are integrated into countertops, creating a seamless look. The advantages are that it is easy to clean, it is a modern appearance, and it saves a lot of counter space. For its installation, you need precise cutouts and countertop, and the cost is around 8,000 to 40,000 depending on the brand and the features that you opt for. When you look at freestanding cooktops, these are like your traditional gas stoves that sit on the counter and are not embedded inside. You can choose them when your budget is lower, you can choose them for rental homes, or when you want easy replacements. These take up a lot of counter space and are harder to clean around, like you'll have to lift the cooktop and then clean under it. Coming to your chimneys and exhaust systems. In Indian cooking, we use a lot of oil, spices and heat cooking. A good chimney isn't just a luxury, but it's a necessity. What should be the suction capacity of a chimney? It is measured in cubic meters per hour. For an Indian kitchen, you need at least 1000 meter cube per hour. It is better if you have 1200 to 1500 meter cube per hour. What kind of filter type should we use? You have baffle filters. These are steel panels that separate grease from air. They are easy to clean and they are long lasting. You also have cassette filters. These are mesh type, cheaper but need frequent replacement. Nowadays, you have a lot of filter-free chimneys. This is a new technology that uses centrifugal force. This has lower maintenance but higher cost. Now, while you choose the chimney, installation is a key point. The height above the hob matters. Too high will give you poor suction and too low will give head bumping. So the standard is about 24 to 30 inches above the cooktop. Coming to built-in ovens and microwaves. Now, what kind of oven types? We have the conventional oven. Conventional oven uses heating elements good for baking and roasting. Then we have convection ovens. This has a fan that circulates hot air, cools faster and more evenly. We also have steam ovens which uses steam for healthier cooking, prevents food from drying out. Now, the challenge with these ovens is for built-in ovens, you need exact cabinet dimensions. You need to measure twice and order once. The cost reality in built-in ovens starts with around 25,000 for basic models and can go up to 1.5 lakh for premium brands with steam functions. Coming to your dishwashers, the most fast-growing appliance in our kitchens. The dishwasher market in India is growing at 10.6%, and why? Working couples, smaller families, and awareness about hygiene. These are the reasons this is gaining a lot of popularity. The capacity of a dishwasher 8 to 10 place settings and 12 to 14 place setting is good for larger families. Coming to Indian cooking specific features, look for models which are intensive wash or kadai cooker cycles. Indian cooking creates more grease and masala stains than Western cooking. So these features are a must. The space planning that you require for a dishwasher, basically the standard dishwasher is 60 centimeter wide. You need to plan cabinet space and plumbing during kitchen design phase. The cost range is about 35 to 80k for good quality dishwashers from brands like Samsung, LG, Bosch. wash. Coming to your water purifiers, you have under sink RO systems which are very popular these days. These are hidden installation and does not take any counter space. They have a dedicated faucet for your pure water. One integration tip that I would like to give you is plan the cabinet space and electrical connection during the kitchen design. Retrofit installation is messier and is also very expensive. Coming to your kitchen sinks, you have stainless steel sink options which are more popular in choice. Look for 18 gauge or 16 gauge steel. Lower the number, thicker the steel and better the quality. The features that you should consider is a single ball versus double ball, whether you want an under mount or a top mount installation, whether you want sound dampening pads for your sink to reduce any noise when you use it. Coming to your granite sinks, it is made of crushed granite mixed with resin. It looks premium, matches granite countertops completely. The benefits are that it is scratch resistant, it is heat resistant, it is available in different colors, but it costs 2 to 3 times more than steel sinks. The next one is your ceramic sinks. They look like your traditional white ceramics that are in the bathroom basins. In reality, they are beautiful but can chip and stain easily. They are not a practical option for heavy Indian cooking. The next topic that we will talk about is backsplash and wall materials. Your backsplash protects walls from oil splatters, water and heat. It also significantly impacts your kitchen's appearance. Coming to different materials that can be used, we have your tile backsplashes. In that we have ceramic tiles which cost about 50 to 200 per SFT. This is a very practical choice because it is easy to clean, it is water resistant. You have a lot of variety of designs to choose from to suit your kitchen interiors. One installation tip that I would like to give is use darker grouts to hide the stains better. Coming to your glass tiles, they cost about 200 to 500 per SFT. They reflect a lot of light and makes the kitchen look larger. They're easy to clean, but they show a lot of water spots and are more expensive. And the next material that we have is your natural stone tiles which are in marble and granite slates. They cost about 150 to 400 per SFT. One consideration that you should make here is natural stone can be porous and hence needs a lot of sealing. The next material that we have is stainless steel backsplashes. The same material as your appliances. It creates a lot of cohesive look. The benefits are that it is heat resistant, hygienic and it has a modern appearance. But in reality, it shows a lot of water spots, fingerprints and looks very industrial. The next material that we have is your glass backsplashes. Single sheet of toughened glass is printed with different designs behind to make it look interesting. The advantages are that you don't have any grout lines. It is easy to clean. It can be customized with any design. The cost is around 300 to 800 per SFT. For perfect installation, you need professionals for this particular type of backsplash. The next thing is paints that I would talk about for your kitchen walls, but I would recommend that you do not use paints at all in your kitchen and try to dado it with different tiles that are available. But coming to paints, you have your regular paint which is a budget option, but it is not practical because it will capture a lot of oil and moisture and will damage within months. The next one we have is epoxy paint, industrial grade paint that forms a hard chemical resistant surface. It can be used for kitchens because it is easy to clean, it resists stains and can handle scrubbing. Although it costs 2 to 3 times more than the regular paint, but it lasts much longer. Next one that we have is textured paint. It hides minor wall imperfections, but cleaning is a very big challenge because textures can trap a lot of grease and dust. Now, what are the technical considerations that you should have for a kitchen? The water resistance and durability. Indian kitchens have high humidity and frequent water usage and temperature variations. Materials must be able to handle daily water exposure, steam from pressure cooking, oil splatters from tadka and frying, and heat from gas burners. So for your kitchens, you need to use moisture resistant, basically your BWR ply. This can handle occasional water exposure. And you can also use your BWP ply which can be submerged in boiling water without any damage. Coming to the last part of our video, which is about space planning and ergonomics. Now your standard dimensions have to be followed for right ergonomics and comfortable cooking. For your counter height, you need 32 to 36 inches. Adjust to primary cook's height. Counter depth, you need 24 inches standard. Upper cabinet height, you need 18 inches above the counter minimum. And for your cabinet depth, you need about 12 inches for your upper and 24 for your lower. In Indian kitchens, we need space for large pressure cookers and for storage containers. We need counter space near the sink for washing vegetables. We need heat resistant area for placing hot cookware. Coming to your electrical and plumbing integration in the kitchens, electrical planning that is required is we need dedicated 15 amp point for dishwasher, 5 amp point every 2 feet on the counter for appliances to be used. Under cabinet lighting circuits, separate circuit for high power application applications like induction cooktop. In terms of your plumbing considerations, we need hot water line for your dishwasher. We need water softener connection for areas with hard water. We need drainage for your dishwasher and RO systems. And we need shut-off valves for easy maintenance of all of these appliances. Coming to the complete kitchen cost breakdown, this is what we have. For your budget kitchens, you can look at this breakup. So for a budget kitchen, you're spending almost 1,89,250 rupees. So here's the breakup for your mid-range kitchen. The total would be around 3,20,000 for a mid-range kitchen. And here's the breakup for your premium kitchen for the same size. And this will cost you about 5,62,000 for a premium kitchen. So guys, these are my final recommendations. If you're tight on budget, then focus your money on the carcass material. Go for a good plywood rather than fancy finishes. You can upgrade finishes later, but replacing the entire structure will be expensive. If you cook a lot, then invest on your countertops and appliances. Get granite or quartz that can handle your daily abuse, and don't compromise on the chimney. Your walls and health will thank you. If this is your forever home, go for premium hardware. Blum, Heritage cost more initially but last for 15-20 years more. Cheap hardware will need replacements in 3 to 5 years. If you're planning to sell the house, focus on appearance over functionality. Buyers are impressed by looks first. Good countertops and clean cabinet finishes make the biggest visual impact. The key understanding is what each material does and choosing based on your specific needs, cooking style and budget. Don't get swayed by sales pitches. Now you know exactly what questions to ask and what answers make sense. Hope this comprehensive guide helps you make the right choices for your kitchen. Any questions about specific materials or situations, drop them in the comments below. Please share and like the video. Do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.